Well, folks, I'm taking a little weekend getaway. Get away from the wood splitting and the harvesting of the garden. I'm gonna head over to Drummond Island here. That's the ferry down there, and do a little prospecting. Well, folks, I made it to Drummond Island. I'm on a trail at a non-disclosed location. This is a little scouting trip till tomorrow morning. I can get out early. Check that out, though. There's a lot of rock. I would say those are glacial rocks. But I came here last year and there's an old creek bed, dried creek bed up this way. Now I'm gonna find again and bring the pan back in the morning. Look at these rocks. You tell me this isn't left from the glaciers? Oh yeah, guaranteed. Oh yeah, more big rocks. This place is just loaded with them. And I'm on the downhill slope of this trail, so you know that creek bed, dried creek bed, was around here somewhere. Oh yeah, I think we're getting close. Check out all these old rocks. Look at the old moss on them. I think they've been there for a while. Nice rock there. Looks like a little quartz in it. Yeah. Well, folks, I made it to the old creek bed. Check out that crevice there. Old rocks, old cedar, little outside bend. You can see it goes all the way down through there. So I guess what I'm gonna do is head back here tomorrow. Maybe get in there behind that rock on that outside bend or this inside. Oh yeah, I can smell it. I can smell the colors. Well, folks, it's the next day. I'm gonna head up to that creek bed, see if I can't find a couple colors. Well, folks, this trail is probably a good 10 miles back in here, but it seems like it's kind of well traveled. Well, folks, I made it back to this old creek bed, and you can see these rocks, and it flows all the way down there. I don't know, I'm gonna have to test a few of these spots next to these rocks on some of these inside bends and outside dead end bends and see what I can find if it's not solid rock. If it's solid rock and I can't dig anything up, I think I'm gonna go down further. I saw like a little plunge area, like maybe there was a little waterfall. So I'll see if I can get some materials out of that. So what I did today is I brought a 30 mesh and then like this 1/2 inch mesh. And I'm just gonna run material through that hit the bigger stones with a little handheld pinpointer, make sure there's no nuggets, and just keep moving, dumping it in the bucket. Water, the nearest water source is probably 8 miles from here, so yeah, I'm probably gonna have to just run my concentrates back at the shop. I actually found this rock here with a bunch of moss on it, so maybe I'll just shake a little of that into the pan. You just never know. It's been here for a while. Actually, I'm thinking about, oh yeah, I'll turn this baby over and see if I can dig some of that area. Well, there's a lot of debris in here from years of settling. I'm trying to work my way down to some gravels, possibly. A lot of moss and old cedar boughs. Some cobbles down in here though, if I can get some of those turned over. This little inside bend here. Wow, it's a little more work than I anticipated digging in this. Of course, I got the baby shovel, but getting through some roots. Just cobble pieces. There's got to be some gravels down there somewhere. Keep going. Actually, I'm just gonna start sifting some of this. You just never know. It could be on the surface, I guess. Might as well check it all. Well, folks, I'm about a foot down there, and I'm still hitting branches, roots and black dirt, few cobbles. Just not hitting any gravel now yet. I may move on to that area where I thought was a plunge area. Okay, finally starting to hit some white sand and gravels. So 18 inches in. Start running some of this. See what we find. Yeah, folks just came by and wonder what the hell am I doing out here, but they thought it was cool, so at least they're not kicking me out. This is state land, I believe. So I don't think I need a permit for this. I'm just running this dry pan here. I'm gonna sift it through that to that 30. I don't know. A lot of black sand and soot in that, but if I can even get it through this 30, it might take a little time. Yeah, I'll tell you what, folks, it is hot out here. Need a little refreshment. Oh yeah. What I'm gonna do is try to grab a few more of these sands and gravels down here. No, I hope that's not the watchers. And then go down to that plunge area and try to run a couple there. It's getting so hard to dig with a shovel down here because of the rocks, but maybe this is a crevice. There's a nugget trap. Oh yeah. It's like I may have finally gotten down to somewhat of an old clay layer, but I'm resorting to hand digging. Oh, should have brought a couple more of those pops. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I know there's a way to dry pan, but I think you can, but I don't know. I'm just figuring I'll just take some concentrates back and remember these spots. It's only like a 10-hour drive for me to get here, so. Oh yeah, we're getting some nice blonde sands now. There's a rock down here, so I'm kind of digging under it. Come on, color. All right. Got about 18 inches down there below that silt layer. I did find an acorn. Actually, it was right here on the surface under the moss. So I think what I'm gonna do, go screed that out, cover this hole back up, go down that plunge area. I tell you what, folks, we're beginning of October in northern Michigan. It's like 1,000 degrees out here. Oh yeah. Sweating like a dog. 30 mesh nugget check. Nothing. All right. We're gonna move down to that plunge area. I think it was a plunge pool. Again, I'm sure I'm probably gonna have to do some major digging to get down to it. Look at this old creek bed. Not only it's got some offshoots here, so this is all kind of going downhill now towards the lake. This might be tough to get through over here. A little bit of a log jam. Yeah, this area right here might not be a bad spot. It's kind of on a downhill. Would have been some rapidy area. Maybe right, it's kind of a dead end bend right there after this shooting down. Maybe that spot would be good right there because it looks fairly clear of ruts. Let's check it out. So the only problem with this is gonna have to mix these two spots. So I only have one bucket. So I'm not gonna know what came from what, but I think what I'll do, level that off, try to measure it somewhat. Figure if I put 6 more inches on there, the first 6 inches will be from this spot, because this is all I got time to do today before I got to get back on the road. Let's see what we find. Figuring this spot might be good. Little trap, little nugget trap. Probably underneath that rock if you could get in there. Look at that, rock's falling off. Right back in there. Well, this isn't the first time I'll be here. Although that 10-hour road trip is, yeah, makes for a good day. Oh yeah, I'm starting to get below the moss area. Starting to pull some cobbles out. Actually, this little shovel isn't too bad. It kind of acts as a little axe. This is my grandpa's from WW2. I wonder if he had ever had axed anything with it. If you get my meaning. Starting to get into some cobbles. Got a big one right here. Big old cobble right in the way. Thinking if I can get these 2 cobbles out of the way, there ought to be some blonde sand down there and gravels. Finally. Got that nice green rock. Yeah, this other one's a bear. I think I can get, it's just wedged between 2 rocks. You know the gold's under it. Finally, holy moly. Look at that cobble. All right, I finally reached the not so black sand, but some blonde and gravels. So let me run this pan and then dump that and get another one out of there. More rocks down in there, but I imagine I get some of this gravelly stuff out between them. Man, I wonder how old this creek is. I'm doing it 1 scoop at a time, and it ain't cost me a dime. Oh yeah, I'm getting into some nice gravels now. I'm getting deeper, but look at this nice blonde Just sand and gravel. There gotta be a nugget in there. Just for kicks and giggles how to do this. Put this down there, watch this. Nothing. Well, got a little more concentrates than I wanted, but a lot of that's lighter sands. I kept that rock too, and I think I'm gonna head back to the shop and eventually run through this. So it might not be a soon video, but or maybe I'll get right to it. I'll catch you folks in a few. Well, folks, I don't know whose idea it was to fill this bucket this much, but it's a little bit of a hike back to the parking area. But we'll get her. Plus, it's a good workout. Nice cobble will taste good when I get back. Well, folks, another successful prospecting trip to Drummond Island. Heading back to the shop.